My 18th birthday is today and I'm moving out within the next couple of days. My mom is losing it because she won't be able to scream at me for nothing anymore. My grandpa is thankfully letting me stay with him until I can get my own place and get on my feet. I was out with my band to celebrate and I got home in the evening at around 6. My mom didn't talk to me and my stepdad only said hi. My stepdad asked me what was next and I told him I was moving out. A little while ago my mom screamed at me because she wanted to move out with me, but I'm not letting her. Truth be told, I'm moving out to get away from her. I didn't know if my stepdad knew about my mom wanting to move out, so I told him about that and he went silent, then left. Later I was watching Jurassic Park and I heard my mom and stepdad arguing. They've argued before, but this was worse. They were full on screaming at each other. Toward the end of the movie, my mom came into my room and started to scream at me for telling stepdad about her wanting to move out with me. Then she told my stepdad it doesn't even matter, he's not letting me live with him, and my stepdad said, it does matter. You didn't tell me and you were going to move out and leave me in the dust. They argued more until my stepdad left the house. My mom came to my room and screamed at me for telling stepdad about her plan. She said I was disturbing the peace. Then she went outside and is now smoking. I don't want her moving in with me because she screams at me for the smallest things. An example is when she screamed at me for being a pig when I burped in the bathroom a couple of days ago, and she basically wants to quit her job and live in my basement so I can support her. I actually find it a little funny that she thinks I can afford a place with a basement right now. But anyway, I don't really know how to end this post, so I'm going to leave it here. Well, I would definitely never let your mom know where you live, she'll try to move in while you're out at work or school. OP. Definitely, all she needs to know is that I live elsewhere. Secure all of your important documents ASAP, as well as open a new bank account that you 100% know she doesn't have access to. OP. I've got them, I've been planning this for just over a year. My advice to you is this. After you move out and then away from your grandparents, go North Carolina with her fully. If you live local to where you can visit your grandparents or family, do not give anyone the new address. Do make sure you go to the post office and put in a change of address for yourself 1 week before you leave. Document everything and make sure that you get everything you want, especially your important documents, and there is one other thing, above everything OP. Make sure you get yourself a bank account that she has no access to or can get a hold of. If she is thinking she can make you pay for her, do credit checks on yourself and pull your credit reports on a regular basis. You lived with her, you were raised by her, so you know about what all her actions will be like and what all she will do and attempt to do. Good luck OP. Update. I, 18M, just moved out of my entitled parents' place. My mom made it so hard when I was moving. As of earlier today, I moved basically all my stuff and only had a few things left. My mom called one of her friends over and told her that I was moving out. The friend that came over had a kid 2 years younger than me, we went to the same school before I graduated. When I would walk home from school, more often than not, I'd hear her badmouthing my mom to the other parents. I only heard bits and pieces of my mom and her friend's conversation, but from what I heard, my mom told her friend that she gave me a place to live for 18 years and now I was leaving without paying her back or paying rent for the time I stayed there after my 18th birthday. I turned 18 not even 3 days ago. Her friend went off on me, telling me I should be ashamed of myself and that she doesn't know how my mom got stuck with me as a kid. I wanted to say something back, but I just put my earbuds in and listened to music. A little while later, just before I was leaving, I noticed I was missing a picture of me and my band in costume. We're a Kiss tribute band. I'm Ace Frehley in the band. I looked around and saw my mom and her friend looking at it, laughing to themselves and criticizing me. I took it back and my mom said, I don't know how you're still in that band. They could get a much better guitarist. I said, I may not be the best guitarist, but my friends don't talk about me behind my back. Then I took the picture and left. My mom and her friend argued as I was leaving. My stepdad hasn't come home yet. I texted him and asked if he was alright, and he said he was staying at his friend's house until he processes the situation. Even though he's a major idiot and lectures me for no reason, part of me still felt a little bad. I'm at my grandpa's house now, I still have to get settled, but I'm free. I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. My grandpa even got me a new flying V for my birthday. I usually play my Les Paul, but the V looks cool. I'm happy with it. Once again, I don't really know how to end this post, so I'm going to leave it here. Sorry, dude. I'm old and have very little patience for idiots like your mother and her friend. I would have flipped them both the bird as I left. I could never treat my kids so atrociously. OP. She's been treating me this way for the last 18 years. It's all good though, I'm out now. It's your mother's responsibility to take care of you for at least 18 years. That's what being a parent is. You owe her nothing. I'm sorry you're going through this. Your grandpa sounds awesome though. Glad you are out now. Block mom for a bit for extra peace. I'll keep this brief. About 10 years ago, my family did not respond well to me growing up. I'm talking about arguments over my partner, career, and place of living. I almost got kicked out before graduation and was looking for homeless shelters at 20 instead of studying like every other young person my age. We go silent for 3 years and are at very low contact. We reconnect to moderate visits, and then due to issues with my sibling in the pandemic, a housing crisis, and medical problems, I get estranged from my sibling. My sibling had surgery and got angry I wouldn't get them groceries in person. I was so sick I was only using Instacart to keep myself safe. The riff with a sibling is the second time this has happened. My parents go nuclear and discuss disownment regularly. I tell them to knock it off or we won't speak. To my understanding, I am legally and financially disowned. I got engaged last year to the partner my parents never liked. They want to gift money to control the ceremony, and I tell them no. This starts another feud and they remind me I'm disowned. I go no contact. My parents occasionally reach out desperately wanting to go to my wedding. They are not invited, and we are too much on the rocks for me to entertain it. But also, why do they need to go if I'm disowned? Sounds like they hope disowning you was a tactic to have you crawl back at their feet. Since you're very capable and strong, you didn't, and now they're upset they can't even make you need their money for your wedding. If you had needed their money, they would have had control over your life as payment for that debt. So they'd have been entitled to conversations with you where they would have criticized every single thing you do. Whose opinion of them do your parents care about? Certainly not yours. I'm guessing the why about their desperation is they will feel shamed in front of people whose opinion they do care about by not being invited to their child's wedding. I doubt anyone outside of your immediate family knows about your being disowned because it would make them look bad, not you. You are not responsible for their optics problem, they are. We want to gift you this money for your wedding, to have a say in it. No, thanks. Well, you're disowned anyway. Wow, they must be fun to be around. On another note, if you started with the planning, make sure no one can call the venues and interfere with your plans. Just to be safe. Necessary background. I, 35F, lost my biological mom to drowning when I was 5. My dad raised me and my sister solo for years, but remarried when I was 12 or 13. Stepmom, now 58, was verbally abusive, jealous of my relationship with my dad, and jealous of my closeness with any family members on my mom or dad's side. She also hated that I refused to let her adopt me. I just never saw her as a true mom. I didn't think she liked me, she scared me more than making me feel safe or happy, and she showed blatant favoritism to her bio son because he could just run to his dad if he doesn't like it. You're stuck here. Anyway, my dad died of lung cancer in 2010. I stayed in touch with my stepmom because I genuinely love my stepbrother and his wife and kids. I am very low contact. My sister is in no contact with my stepmom. I held off seeing her for years by using COVID, but finally ran out of excuses, and she came to visit after Christmas for a long weekend. As she had not seen me in person in a few years, she noticed a new tattoo I had. It's 3 simple line drawings, one of a tree, one of the crystals, and one of a robot. She asked what they meant and I said, well, the tree is for my mom, since one of the few memories I have of her is when she taught me to climb a tree in our yard. The crystals are for dad because he was a geophysicist and a rock collector and loved to dig for quartz crystals in Arkansas, and the robot is for my nephew, my cousin's son, who died when he was 6. He had drawn me the robot one of the last times I saw him. She paused and sat back and then responded, so, God forbid, if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, what would you get for me? I was so hurt, but also not surprised. She's made comments before to the tune of, do I have to die to get you to appreciate me? So it wasn't totally out of the blue. But it made me so sad that there was absolutely no empathy, no compassion. It was all, well, what about me? Don't I deserve a memorial? Ugh. Dear Lord, forgive me, but I instantly thought with that attitude, a bus. The plate number of the bus. OP. My first thought was to say a mirror because she's relatively narcissistic, but a bus would have been much better. Some ideas come to mind. A smiley face? Celebratory fireworks? The Wizard of Oz scene with the witch's legs sticking out from under the house? Stick figure dancing a jig? Tell her your tattoo for her will be a potato on the bottom of your foot and then refuse to answer any further questions about it. It will confuse the heck out of her and drive her crazy.